Greetings. Greetings, brothers and sisters. Today we're just having us a simple fire, right? I like the sound of fires, especially during a cold season. However, the interesting thing about this is when I look at the fire, I think of our God, right? And everything that we do and every idea or every situation we are in, we should include the Most High and contemplate on what He'll have us to do. Should we go to the right or should we go to the left? But looking at this fire, it reminds me of God and how He is a consuming fire. And in fact, these are dead branches. And things that are dead are going to be stubble. However, there's also a such thing as called dead knowledge. What is this dead knowledge? But before we go any further, let us read the Desert Fathers. 21. A hermit said, if it were possible to die of fear, all the world would perish with terror, remembering the coming of God after the resurrection. What will it be like to see the heavens open and God revealed in wrath and fury, and innumerable companies of angels gazing on the whole human race gathered together? Therefore, we ought to live our lives as those... Hey, what's going on, brother? Therefore, we ought to live our lives as those who must give an account of each action unto God. So in reading this, it helps me understand. And we're going to go further because the title of this discussion is about dead knowledge. What was handed to us when we sinned? Was it indeed life at the very beginning? For truly, when we took a part of that tree, the knowledge of good and evil, ever since man's conception almost, all his desires were of evil, like the smoke. Agnosia, a clouded mind, trying to judge with an ungodly mind what is good and what is evil. However, let's go to the second part.
22. A brother asked a hermit, why is my heart hard? And why do I not fear God? He said to him, I think that if you have reproach in your heart, you will know fear. The brother said to him, what is this reproach? The hermit said, to reprove your soul in all things, saying to it, remember that you have to meet God. Say also to your soul, what do I want with people? I think that if anyone tries to do this, the fear of God will come to him. Very interesting. It is that almost to the very last end, the Gentiles will come and surely say, our fathers have inherited lies. So why would anybody believe anything they say to the fullest extent in any educational, institutional way? A prison, self-made. But before going further, you don't believe me. Well, take a look around and see the beautiful trees that come from the true seeds. But on the contrary, be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man sows, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. Oh, and let me also continue. Let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap, if we faint not. You see, living this life in the light of Christ, without any regret, for if the Most High is true, by knowing Him, I won't lose. But if He isn't, bidding my fellow man shalom, I would rather choose than to see him or her feeling the blue. Oh, and I didn't forget, oh Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction or distress. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. I am not tripping. This world is wicked we are living in. But be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication. With thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God, and the peace of God, right, which passes all understanding. For our Father also said, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. No offense, and education ain't it. For a lot of people are educated and literate, but no peace is integrated, worldly in understanding, only wickedness. For God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. So let us continue to worship him in spirit and in truth, and get rid of the Gentile lie that was placed upon us at youth. Dead knowledge, good and evil. The Apocalypse of Adam. A literary and source analysis. Source A. Briefly, let us read a fragment for understanding with precept. That sounds more plausible according to a reasonable record of Adam, since it's been over a space of time. And I quote, she taught me a word of knowledge of the eternal God, and we resembled the great eternal angels, for we were greater than the God who had created us and the powers that were with him, whom we did not know. Well, as we pause here, we see Eve has eaten the fruit of good and evil knowledge, teaching Adam a word, even going as far as saying, we were greater than the God who had created us. And we can see this in the text in Genesis. And the Lord God said, behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand, and take also of the tree of life, and eat, and live forever. And that's our precept. And now back to our original text, verse 20, Adam, Apocalypse. Then God, the ruler of the worlds and the powers, divided us in anger, casting them from the Garden of Eden. Then we became two worlds, and the glory that was in our heart abandoned us, me and your mother, Eve, along with the first knowledge that breathed in us. Let us put a pin there. Who was the first knowledge that breathed in us? For she is the breath of the power of God and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty, an influence to forgive, an influence to love, an influence to walk in patience, an influence to abhor evil, an influence to live, and an influence to be obedient. But where did this influence come from? From who? The Almighty. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her. And it fled from us, entering into another great world, and another great generation that was not cast forth from this world, from which we had come, I and Eve, your mother. After those days, the eternal knowledge of the God of truth withdrew far from me and your mother Eve, Since that time we were taught dead things as man. And again, how can we judge from good and evil, which brings death, by dead knowledge, not having the mind of God? Or just having a clouded mind, no contemplation on the things above. Let us go to the Apocrypha and see where we were once in our nature and the nature of the people.
The Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13. For all people who were ignorant of God were foolish by nature, and they were unable from the good things that are seen to know the one who exists. You know, how many times do we often look at things and see things with our fleshly eyes, right? And touch things, but we're unable to meditate and contemplate on the Creator that created those things. As in regards to certain things and different things are good for different things. But can we contemplate and give the glory back to the Creator rather to the created thing? Nor did they recognize the artisan while paying heed to his works. You weren't there when the merchants were making the merchandise. You did not visualize or to see as if where did this idea come from, right? Or what was this person contemplating about when they were thinking about the need for the person who decided or who was intrigued into buying the merch? But they suppose that either fire or wind or swift air or the circle of the stars or turbulent water or the luminaries of heaven were the gods that ruled the world. If through delight in the beauty of these things, people assume them to be gods. You know, people assume even stones to be gods. There's people who follow stones and practice the art of discerning things and predicting things through stones. You know, worshiping stones. Things that can neither move, things that can neither speak, shake your hand, feed the sick. Any of that, right? It says, if through delight in the beauty of these things, people assume them to be gods. No different from how they look at those beautiful rubies, beautiful rings, beautiful stones, right? And assume them to be gods. But they're not. Let them know how much better than these is their Lord, for the author of the beauty created them. And if people were amazed at their power and working, let them perceive from them how much more powerful is the one who formed them. When you go to sleep, you need to take thought of what time you're going to get up. Did you take thought of God? Did you take thought? Yet these people are little to be blamed, for perhaps they go astray, while seeking God and desiring to find Him. For while they live amongst His works, they keep searching, and they trust in what they see, because the things that are seen are beautiful. It says, the things that are seen are temporal, but the things that are not seen are eternal. It says we are living now in a time where people are forever learning, but not coming to the truth.
But oh, you don't believe me, right? But where shall wisdom be found? And where is the place of understanding? Man knows not the price thereof, neither is it found in the land of the living. The depth said, it is not in me, and the sea said, it is not with me. Let's put a pin there. So why do we hear brothers and sisters say, hey man, you know what I'm saying? You heard about, you can go down in the water and stuff like that, man. They found a whole nother sea down there, man. And I really do believe, if we go down, that's how we're going to go up. Okay, keep believing that. Because the depth and the sea just said, wisdom cannot be found there. 15. It cannot be gotten for gold, neither shall silver be weighed for the price thereof. People kill each other over gold and silver. So where is the wisdom in that? 16. It cannot be valued with the gold of Ophir, with the precious onyx, or the sapphire. The gold and the crystal cannot equal it, and the exchange of it shall not be for jewels of fine gold. Children haven't been enslaved to mind these things. Again, where is the wisdom in that? No mention shall be made of coral or of pearls, for the price of wisdom is above rubies. The topaz of Ethiopia shall not equal it, neither shall it be valued with pure gold. Whence then comes wisdom, and where is the place of understanding? Seeing it is hid from the eyes of all living, and kept close from the fowls of the air. But wait a minute. Somebody's heard of it. Destruction and death say, we have heard the fame thereof with our ears. How has destruction and death heard the fame of wisdom? Well, that could be answered easily, because surely in God is the power of life and death. God understandeth the way thereof, and he knows the place thereof. For he looks to the ends of the earth, and sees under the whole heaven, to make the weight for the winds. And he weigheth the waters by measure. When he made a decree for the rain, and a way for the lightning of the thunder, then did he see it, and declare it. He prepared it, yes, and searched it out. And unto man he said,
Behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding.
Sadly enough, but true, brothers and sisters, is those who practice dead knowledge that produce dead things, that cause death. There is a judgment. But the idol made with hands is accursed, and so is the one who made it, he for having made it. And the perishable thing, because it was named a god. For equally hateful to God are the ungodly and their ungodliness. For what was done will be punished together with the one who did it. Therefore, there will be a visitation also upon the heathen idols, because though part of what God created, they became an abomination, snares for human souls, and a trap for the feet of the foolish. Again, it was a pleasure to speak with you, and blessings and peace. There is more word. Play that clip, brother.
So back where evil spirit, back where I feel your spirit and I know it. Go where I see you coming on every side, but I didn't run. No, I didn't. I just guide and protect me, so no wicked cannot test me. I will never give up my faith. So Lucifer, you better get this straight, that I'm a son of the Most High and I'm heading to Mount Zion's gate.